Well, we start to embark on the run home of winter and start to embark on a new season of spring, and why not be in the perfect location to celebrate the last day of winter, to celebrate it out, because it's been a cold, bumpy one, Canberra, and what that means, another Capital Brewing Co. record fair, a My Vinyl Revolution record fair happening August 31st over there at the Brewing Co. on Dairy Road in Fyshwick, which is always a great thing, and always a great thing and a great time to talk to Erica from My Vinyl Revolution. Great to talk to you again, Erica.
Well, hello. How are you?
Oh, it's been a cold winter. I won't
Yes.
lie. It's been a bumpy one. It's been a brutal one. We all, Canberrans are like zombies walking around the city with no direction. We need the sun to direct us. One shape of a circle sun. But I tell you what, these other circles that we spin on our record players have been my saving grace.
Oh, you've been spinning a bit over winter. That's
I've
so
been
good.
spinning over winter, coffee, soup, blankets, and just tapping in to what the beautiful music that vinyl gives us.
Yeah, and it definitely is an indoor activity. However, as it comes up to summer, you find the music on vinyl can translate into the indoor space thing that we all do.
Yeah.
And it's perfect to help us get through those winter blues and into the spring sunshine. I'm really, really looking forward to spring as well. I've been really busy listening to all of these albums that I haven't had any time to listen to over winter. That's what I've been doing. And it's madness what you can pull out of record collections, especially your own, that you may not even remember that you had, and take a listen.
Absolutely. And when you start to build that collection, you just kind of flip through and then you realize, I forgot I had this. And then you put it on, and I've acquired a couple of really cool ones which we can chat about. I know that you've done as well, but we speak about location and Capital Brewing Co. It's no secret how much I love that Dairy Road precinct there, and especially the vibes at Capital Brewing Co. there. But that is a perfect location to have this, and the doors will be open. The spring will start to be seeping through the doorways, and I'm hearing a little birdie tell me it could be moved a little bit around the corner next to the big brewing
Yeah, we're
vats.
going to go into the atrium. I guess
Yeah.
that's what they call it. It's still next to the bar. It's just not in front of the bar. It's to the side of the bar. So when you walk in, you see the big silver brewing vats, and Brod's over there on the other side of the room. When you walk in, just hang a left around the bar, and we're right there. It's a massive room, and it's just as beautiful. So yeah, we'll be doing the record fair in there.
Oh, and it's a great spot to have a feed. That place you mentioned is up for grabs when it comes to booking for little parties and stuff. I think my nephew had a party there the other week, and
Oh, wow.
we just absolutely gorged in the wonderful food there. Of course, it's linked there with Brodburger too, and Brodburger is known to be Canberra's best burger. Let's be honest. It is.
That's
it's
right.
part of a landmark
Yeah.
now of ACT, and just hooking into the Brod burgers, the chicken wings, all that kind of stuff, the buffalo wings, and the fries are really good as well. Just the food's great, and then let's talk about the craft beer, locally brewed, and of course they've got a brand new beer called Scout, which I tried as well. And
What did you think?
it was look, the thing here. Well, here's your best answer. I tend to go for wine these days, but I went to beer for the birthday party, and that really hit home. So I'm kind of thinking beer again, and I think summertime I could be the beer guy again, and that's all because of what
Yeah.
they delivered. I mean, I don't want to sound like a cheesy plug here, but it's just it goes down so well, and knowing that it's from my hometown and brewed locally in that place, I just feel I'm on tour somewhere.
That's exactly right. And, the whole thing about a great record fair versus just a place that you go to have a look at records is when you go to a venue like Capital Brewing Co., there's food and there's bevies. There's non-alcoholic, there's alcoholic, and there's also a place to sit. So you can congregate and you can bring your people to the event, and then everybody has a choice of, what they want to eat, what they want to drink, and then what they want to look at as far as records. So I think it's the perfect situation to relax a bit and crack all of your joints and, wake up after the deep slumber of winter and get involved in, a little bit of spring energy at a record fair.
And the anticipation of ordering a nice, burgers and beer, while that's getting cooked into in the chef's room. You're
Ah,
sitting there looking at what you just picked up at the record fair, and you're kind of processing the joys of that. And it does make you hungry when you're digging in those crates. Let me tell you, especially when you
it's
can
hard
smell it in
work.
the air.
Yeah, take a break halfway through, have some lunch. I was reading that they've got a few different interesting beer types at Capital Brewing Co.
Mm,
And I think I'm going to try the Cherry Springer. It's a cherry wheat beer.
yeah.
And then you mentioned the Scouts. There's always the Tokyo Draft, which is, the rice lager, really crisp, and
Yes.
the Ridge Runner, which is an amber lager. So, all different levels as well. If you're not really sure, you can always ask the guys. And just like records, you can ask them what they recommend, and then come and ask us what we recommend as far as records as well. Or just jump in and have a dig and see what you find.
Well, speaking of having a dig, I love it, and I get so excited when you come with some new titles that we can talk about, and you have, 10 or so titles here that you're going to have in the back pocket and in the box to bring along. Talk to me, Erica. Talk to me.
That's right. That's right. So, well, when we meet people who aren't really familiar with records or aren't record collectors themselves, they always say to us, "Oh, records have come back into fashion." And it's like, well, from one record collector to someone who may not be, records have never gone out of fashion. However,
Yeah.
there's some records that are so good, or for whatever reason, they've always been in print. And the one that comes to mind that we always have is Fleetwood Mac Rumours. So it's a girl album.
Mm.
Some guys like it. It's a family favorite. But basically, in every record pressing company in the world, there's usually a copy of that getting repressed. So what that means is it came out in 1971, I think,
Wow.
or 74, and it's been getting repressed. The same songs on the same album have been getting repressed since then. So you could look at a cover of, or a copy of Rumors side by side, the copy from 1971 and the copy from 2025. And there might be some variations in color,
Mm.
texture, catalog number, etc., but it's still got the picture on the front, and it's still got the same songs that were
Yes.
popular all that time ago. And I think this is where, I'm not elevating something like Rumors unnecessarily, but even if you don't like it, you've got to recognize that it is part of our record culture and our interest and fascination, and possibly being forced commercially by record companies to love this record over time. So it's
Yes.
it's actually a cultural icon and an artifact of the game, which is record collecting. So that's how I see reissues of
Mm.
certain titles. But I didn't want to talk about Fleetwood Mac Rumours today. What I wanted to talk about was some of the reissues that we've got coming in hot off the press that have a vintage connection like Rumours. And the
Absolutely.
first one is really, really fun. So it's so out of Fleetwood Mac. So there was Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac back in the day, and that was really bluesy. The songs are great. You had Christine McVie, John McVie, Mick Fleetwood, who part of the band name is named after.
Mm.
And then after Peter Green left, they Fleetwood ran into Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham, who have since, gone on to become mega superstars and had their own careers in their own rights.
Yes.
But the time change, or the style change for Fleetwood Mac, and what propelled them into absolute superstardom, was when those three people met: Mick Fleetwood, Lindsey Buckingham, and Stevie Nicks. Now, what were they doing before Fleetwood Mac? Buckingham and Nicks issued one album, which is self-titled. It's called Buckingham Nicks, and it's the sole studio effort by those two before they joined Fleetwood Mac. It's being reissued in September next month. Actually, next month. Actually, we'll have a copy of it. So yeah, we've
Yeah.
got our hands on it now. Oh, might have it in advance.
Wow.
But anyway, after decades of being out of print, this is getting reissued, and there's a lot of heat around this issue. So this reissue by Rhino Records is, I think it's available on vinyl plus other formats in a limited edition, including 7-inch singles. So
Wow.
this announcement about this release, it follows huge social media teasers from Nix and Buckingham, leading their fans to speculate about a potential reunion or new collaboration. Now, FYI, in my humble opinion, I don't think there's going to be a get together again because they're just too rich to bother.
Yes.
But you never know, it might be a vanity thing. And the difference stylistically in between the genres of Buckingham Nicks and Fleetwood Mac's later um, musical style when they had joined the band,
Yeah.
it isn't that different. But this one is kind of like an old country rock cool release. And the reason why it's so popular is because there was only ever one issue of the album. And then it just disappeared. And these things became like grails. So you'd be paying $150 for a copy, if you could get it, whether you could get an Australian copy,
Yeah.
etc., etc. The three singles from Buckingham Nicks' album that you want to check out is Don't Let Me Down Again, and that was released in November 1973. The other single is Without a Leg to Stand On, and that was also released 73.
Mm.
And then Crying in the Night, 1977. So I just wanted to give those singles out so that you can take a listen if you want and get an idea about the feel of the album.
Yes.
And the other interesting feature that I wanted to mention is that they're both on the front cover and they're both not wearing any clothes in a creatively styled cover shot.
That
And it's
helps.
super cool.
That always helps.
Yeah. Lots of hair flicks, I mean, they're both, not they're both pretty easy on the eye back then. And that cover has stayed the same. And
Wow.
so if you want a reissue of that legendary album, come and find it at the Capital Brewing Co. My Vinyl Revolution Record Fair. That's number one.
Mm-hmm. Number two.
Number two. Ooh. All right, let's jump straight into like this last generation. Tyler, the Creator. Cherry Bomb.
Well, you spoke about, having Fleetwood Mac's kind of
Yeah.
vintage covers. Like, you speak about Tyler the Creator. Igor has become one of those covers that everyone owns. I've picked up a couple. I've picked up the nice pink Igor recently as well, and I've been spinning that as well. But then there's always beyond Igor when it comes to Tyler the Creator, isn't it?
Oh, he is a genius. I mean, it's a byword that you just drop like confetti, really, when it comes to people like him.
Yeah.
But this album it's hard to believe, but it's been almost 10 years since Tyler, the Creator, dropped his fourth studio album. It's called Cherry Bomb. And
Wow.
yeah, to celebrate a decade of rotation around the world, Tyler's tapping back into the album hype, I guess, for some special 10th anniversary reissues. And the album that we have on reissue is blue vinyl. So it's a colored vinyl version. It's limited edition. And this album remains, like, for me, it's still one of his most ambitious. He's got lush orchestras, he's got hard driving guitars, plus all of the hip hop grooves.
Yes.
And he's got standout guest verses from Kanye, Lil Wayne, Schoolboy Q, and other artists as well.
Wow.
So
it's quite a party.
it's quite a party, but I really like it because it's almost like a homage to Pharrell's funk rock
Whoa. Wow.
style. Vanity Project, he's just but it's not all smooth. There's angst and there's typical Tyler Technicolor stuff. He's quirky.
Yeah, very quirky, and the samples are in there as well.
Samples are in there, and again on the cover, this is the one with the pea pants on the front cover. If you can remember it, once you see it, you'll never forget it. But it's the
Yeah.
blue vinyl pea pants album cover.
I think you've
You
started.
think you've got to look it up?
I'm going to look it up. Like I said, everyone owns Igor, and that's a whole different podcast. That one, but
Yeah, but that was a different direction again. So this
Yeah.
is like 10 years ago. And the singles from Cherry Bomb are Death Camp. And I don't think I can pronounce the other one, but the B-side of the other single is Perfect. And they were both released in 2015.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, that's something to keep an eye at the next one. Of course, the cherry bomb there, as you mentioned, with the jeans and the P, which you'll never forget. But I tell you what, inside that, spinning on that blue record is seems to be. That's the first thing I'm going to do after we get off this podcast is go and crank some of those tunes. I might even sneak a few on the radio here.
Yeah, get familiar with them again.
Absolutely, Erica. And now you've got some more in that wonderful, gorgeous bag that you're bringing at the Capital Brewing Co. My
Yeah,
Vinyl
we
Revolution
do,
Record
we
Fair.
do. And I often don't give enough love to the reissues side of things because honestly, there's so many records being produced and reissues are kind of seen as the poor cousin to a lot of first edition collectibles. But let's remember, with collectible records, if you're after a first press of anything, you're likely to be chasing some sort of holy grail of your of the genre, you
Yeah.
know. So reissues are a really great way to start building your record collection. And also, when you buy a record new, it should be in perfect condition. There shouldn't be any production flaws,
Mm-hmm.
and you should just be able to whack it on the turntable and play it. And that's what I suggest you do with this next reissue that I'm talking about, Mark Ronson's version. Do you know
Wow.
Mark Ronson?
Yes, of course.
Oh man, I've seen Mark Ronson back in the day, and that's a whole other story. But
Well, I work in commercial radio, so Mark Ronson, whether it's him himself or some of
oh
his contributions with co-writing for artists or writing
yes,
for artists, he's
yes,
very very big, and he's actually started doing like courses for music whether it's the music industry or actually technically music songs and stuff. So he's really putting back out into the industry now. But I can't wait to hear what you got to say about this one.
he's great. He's great. Oh well, there's two actually. I want to talk about Version and Uptown Special because
Mm.
they've just been reissued. And Version, which is the first one that I want to talk about, that was his second studio album and released in 2007 through Alido and Columbia Records. But this album is titled Version because it's an album of cover versions, and it featured a retro inspired sound that Ronson considered to be reminiscent of his Motown and Stax um, collection. You know, he's really into those labels, and this is a homage to those labels. And with a pedigree like Mark Ronson, Motown and Stax, you've just got to buy this album. I actually saw the tour that he did for that.
Wow.
Amazing. Like amazing. And the reason why I mention this also is because if you're an Amy fan, Amy Winehouse or Lily Allen,
Yes.
you've got to get this album.
Okay.
The album cost nearly more than £870,000 to launch. So,
Wow.
you know, it wasn't a small, shy, retiring album. It reached number 2 on the UK albums chart and it sold over 110,000 copies as of 2015. So you could probably double that by now.
Yeah.
But so look, Ronson really hit commercial pay dirt in the world of, you know, these gobby femme-fronted British pop singers. You
Yeah.
know, he worked on Lily Allen's All Right, still, and Amy Winehouse's Back to Black album, and both of those chanteuses appear on his second album Version, which reasonably enough sees him largely abandoning rap, which
Yeah.
you know. He was doing different directions. I don't know if it was a good decision, but you know, this was a huge album for him. So very commercially successful. But in the place of, you know, his rap fascination comes the musical formula that served him so well when he did when he produced, sorry, I shouldn't say he did. He produced her Amy Winehouse's hit
Yes.
Rehab,
Yeah, of
you
course.
know. And that in itself is an affectionate pastiche of a 60s soul review, you know, with the brass laden sound and, you know, the big female vocals. So, but as this album Version's title suggests, the formula is applied to cover versions of unlikely alt rock tracks. So it kind of is a really savvy marketing tool, but it also actually sounds good, and it still sounds good.
It
So the
does.
singles from Version that you should check out are Stop Me, released in 2007. Actually, all of these were released around 2007, 2008 when the album was released.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's such a great track to dance to. Yeah, it's great. And then everybody in the whole wide world would know Valerie, which is
Of
also on
course.
version.
Yeah.
And the other single was Just. So that for me would be like a no-brainer. If you're looking for a present for somebody, this ticks all the boxes, but it's also not embarrassing to have in your record collection.
Not at all. And those artists you mentioned, of course, the late great lady that we spoke of there, and we miss her dearly. We actually saw her movie recently.
Oh,
Yeah, did
yes.
you catch the movie?
Yeah. Oh, it was like
Amy
watching
Winehouse.
tragedy in slow-mo. It was
Yeah,
really sad.
it was. And then you mentioned Lily Allen. I think the world needs some Lily Allen, and she needs to come back She needs to come back into existence and be doing music again. She had that controversial swagger as well. But Mark Ronson did such a great job with those UK artists. As you do with your vinyl there, Erica. Look, I can't wait to go into part 2 of this podcast to find out what else you have in your bag, which is going to be available at the My Vinyl Revolution Record Fair over there at the Capital Brewing Co., which is a wonderful part of the hub of Dairy Road in Fyshwick. And we're also going to talk about record fair etiquette. People have asked me about that, so we're going to bring that up about record fair etiquette, the polite way to do the the crate digging of kraut rock, I was going to say, and also caring for your records, the plastic sleeving, storage temperature limits and whatnot. I need to know that stuff as well, because I'm starting to get serious in my record collection, and I want to preserve these. I've got a 7-year-old that's going to take over these one day, and I want to make sure she can enjoy them, or maybe even sell them, and more stuff we can chat about. But it's been a great one, Erica. Where can we meet you again? Which is going to be the 31st of August, the last day of this cold Canberra winter. And why not bring in the new season with a whole new batch of scores?
From just before lunchtime to just before 5, you'll find us at the Capital Brewing Company, 3 of 1 Dairy Road in Fyshwick, and there'll be thousands of new reissue, release, secondhand vinyl, CDs and cassettes for you to dig through.
Don't forget the cassettes as well, and they're starting to make a comeback too. Okay, Erica, till next time.
All right, thanks, Nick.